Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're featuring a small micro brand called Gruppo Gamma. Now this is part of the Venturo range, so this is their entry level really of their watches. Just a little bit about the brand. Basically, I got talking to Naoki, who's the founder of the brand, and such a nice guy, really into his watches. Basically, he was a hobbyist watchmaker as such, and back in 2013 he came up with the company, and they are tiny. We're talking 5 members only work from, but they still make between 1 and 2,000 watches a year. And on their other models, like this is obviously their entry level one, so this is $500, which equates to around about £380 in the UK. But on their other models, which are more expensive, they use ETA movements, they use the leather is sourced from Italy. So, you know, they really do like their watches. Also, things, you know, to point out is the box this actually came in, which is quite a nice touch. Instead of just being a simple box, you just put away in some drawer somewhere. This one is actually a travel case. So you can travel around with your watches there. Strap changing tools also came with it, so that's kind of nice. But this one, as I say, this is the Venturo SkinDiver, and it's just a nice watch. Basically, the dimensions of this watch, it says it's 40 millimeters, but when you actually measure across the bezel, it's 41 millimeters. It sits 13 millimeters tall, but to be fair, a good mil and a half that is taken up by the it's taken up by the kind of sapphire crystal, which sits proud there, which just looks great and magnifies a great bit. The lug to lug width, so the longest point across the watch, is 48 mil, and it's got a rather chunky 22 millimeter size bracelet for that size watch. It does look quite cool. So anyway, let's zoom into that dial a little bit. What's nice with this dial is it's actually a sandwich dial. So if you see here where the 9 o'clock is, you see how you see it at certain angles. It's basically the numerals and the hour markers have all been cut away from the dial, and the luminous material is below that. So it's in essence exactly the same as my Panerai. My Panerai's got the same thing going on there, and that is, it just gives more depth to a dial. You have this outer minute track going around here, which is fully loomed. Now, talking of loom, this watch is amazing. When it comes to loom, it is an absolute loom monster. It really is. I'll drop some pictures in and just put a flashlight on this so you've got an idea how it looks. And it really does glow. It is like a torch at night. It is super impressive. So anyway, as we've got minimal text on that dial, we've got the red second hand there. Now this is a non-date watch, and I do like the fact that the movement, when you pull it out, instead of opting just for a cheap, basically where you have you click it and nothing happens, this, they've got rid of it. So it's either hand wind or hacking. So they've removed the date function, which is actually nicely done. Proper amount of purchase on there and a lot of screw threads, so that's nice. But anyway, sapphire crystal, just check that out. That is a really nice one. Does a great job of magnifying it, as you can see there. Really impressive. AR coating as well. The bezel is a ceramic bezel. It's a matte finish bezel with full of luminous materials we've just seen. And as for bezel action, virtually no play at all. 120 click. Very positive. If anything, a little bit firm, but better firm than too loose. Purchase, obviously you've got a nice corner edge bezel there. You can get lots of purchase on. Now, as we look around, that I think is just a lovely case design. Nice curvature to it. No sharp edges at all. It feels very nice and very smooth. We have drilled lugs as well, and I like the way the actual end links tie in beautifully to the case. I think they look absolutely superb. We do have a signed crown as well, as we've seen plenty of thread. Now I should point out the movement in this watch. On a lot of micro brands you tend to have the NH35 from Seiko. Nothing wrong with that movement, but yeah, it's not exactly special. It's a 6 beats per second. This is a Miyota 9 series, which beats at 8 beats per second, like many high-end watches do. And also, when I put it on the time grapher, it was pulling around about 2 to 4 seconds or so. So I found this is about just coming on for 4 seconds a day, which actually for this price point is actually very good, I think, anyway. And I love the fact, being it's a Miyota movement, if I do this, you can hear the rotor spinning. It spins so freely on the Miyotas. I think they are really nice. So anyway, as I said, the bracelet, coming out onto the bracelet, it is a screwed bracelet, solid end links, solid links. Now I've got a 7¼ inch wrist, and I took 4 links out of this and have it set in at its closest to fit me. So even if you have a large wrist, this will fit you no problem at all. Now the clasp itself, it's a stamped clasp, but it actually looks quite cool. You do have 4 levels of micro adjustment, very positive. Yeah, no problems there. So that's all good. The case back is a screw down case back on the back there. There is etching on the back. Perhaps a little, yeah, whenever you have etching, sometimes it can feel a little bit sharp. This isn't so bad, but one thing to be aware of. It is a 200-meter diver. Obviously, you have quick release there on the bracelet. Now, I also had it sent over with the options of a Tropic strap, which I actually think looks possibly better than that, better than the bracelet. But it also came with the leather straps as well, which I just think is a nice touch. The actual clasp, sorry, the the pin and buckle, it's a nice wide one, this, and I do prefer that than a thin type, and it is signed. So overall, I think the watch is pretty cool. Let's put this on my wrist so you get an idea how it looks. Zoom out a little bit. I'm wearing a little Seiko Alpinist on a Zin H-Link bracelet, which can be done. Now, if I put this on, now, as I say, it says it's a 40mm watch, but across the bezel, it's actually 41. And I think it looks pretty damn good. So, yeah, I do like it. I say there is a model available with white lume, I think there is. So this is obviously the more kind of a slightly greenier looking lume. But they have plenty of watches. Some of their other watches I think are superb. But let me know what you think of this brand. Yeah, let me know in the comments below. I'll try and get back to you. And stay safe out there, guys. Take care. Bye.